Epic land where natural beauty blends with the richness of its past. Spain is home to breathtaking landscapes, from the cold, snow-capped peaks of the Sierra Nevada to the warm turquoise waters of the Mediterranean coast, intertwined with its historic cities and medieval villages, immersing us in the grandeur of its past. A true mosaic of traditions and cultures, Spain captivates with its vibrant cultural life and modernist architecture. It is a land that radiates the Mediterranean spirit and offers dreamlike landscapes and islands. Let's explore together and uncover some of the most interesting and extraordinary facts about Spain. Welcome to the Places of the World channel. Spain occupies a large part of the Iberian Peninsula in southwestern Europe, covering an area of 505,990 square kilometers. It encompasses the peninsula itself, the archipelagos of the Balearic and Canary Islands, as well as the cities of Ceuta and Melilla in North Africa. It borders Portugal to the west, France and Andorra to the north, and Gibraltar to the south. Its 4,964 kilometers of coastline are washed by the Mediterranean Sea, the Atlantic Ocean, and the Cantabrian Sea. Spain has a population of 48.3 million and is organized into 17 autonomous communities, 2 autonomous cities, and 50 provinces. Its main cities concentrate much of the urban population and also attract many tourists. Madrid, the capital, stands out for its culture and art. Barcelona is famous for its modernist architecture. Valencia blends history and modernity. Seville enchants with its Andalusian heritage. As a curiosity, the Strait of Gibraltar is the closest point between Europe and Africa. With only 14 kilometers of separation, Gibraltar is a British overseas territory and the subject of a historical dispute between Spain and the United Kingdom. It was ceded to the United Kingdom in 1713 through the Treaty of Utrecht, but Spain still claims that it should be part of its territory. Welcome to a journey through the most breathtaking landscapes of Spain, a country where nature reveals its diversity in every corner. We begin in the north, where the green valleys of Galicia, Asturias, Cantabria, and the Basque Country contrast with the cliffs of the Cantabrian Sea. Here, the Picos de Europa rise majestically, reaching 2,650 meters in altitude. The oceanic climate, with abundant rainfall, has shaped a landscape of intense greens, where beech and oak forests shelter the Iberian wolf, the Cantabrian brown bear, and the elusive capercaillie. We now head to the Pyrenees, an imposing natural barrier between Spain and France. Aneto, standing at 3,404 meters, is the highest peak of these mountains, where eternal snows feed glacial lakes of crystal-clear waters. It is in these mountains that the Ebro River is born, before beginning its long 930-kilometer journey to flow into the Mediterranean. We move on to the Central Plateau, a vast high plain that dominates the country's interior. Its landscapes of cork oaks and golden fields are home to imperial eagles and deer. To the south, the wetlands of Las Tublas de Daimiel and Cabaneros preserve unique biodiversity. In the east, the Mediterranean washes the coasts of Catalonia, the Valencian community, and Murcia. Here, beaches and coves give way to mountain ranges such as the Iberian system, where wild goats and golden eagles thrive. We arrive in Andalusia, where the Tabernas Desert contrasts with the forests of Sierra Morena and the snow-capped peaks of Sierra Nevada. In Dinana National Park, Iberian lynxes and flamingos find refuge. We conclude in the Balearic Islands, with their crystal-clear waters and pine forests, and in the Canary Islands, with their volcanic landscapes and the imposing tide, Spain's highest peak. In the center of the Iberian Peninsula rises Madrid, the vibrant capital of Spain, with a population of over 3.2 million inhabitants and more than 6.8 million in its metropolitan area. It is the largest city in the country and the main political, economic, and cultural engine of the nation. Since Philip II moved the royal court to Madrid in 1561, the city has become the epicenter of the Spanish Empire. Today, it is a true mosaic where history and modernity coexist in perfect harmony. Madrid captivates with its architectural richness. Puerta del Sol, the central point where the traditional New Year's Eve chimes are celebrated each year, the majestic Plaza Mayor, a witness to centuries of history, and the elegant Gran Via, filled with theaters and shops. The Prado Museum, one of the most important art galleries in the world, houses priceless masterpieces by artists such as Velázquez, Goya, and Bosch. Nearby, Retiro Park offers a green refuge in the heart of the city. The imposing Royal Palace, former residence of the Spanish monarchs, impresses with its halls and works of art. For football enthusiasts, Madrid is a land of legends, where two giants dominate the sports scene. The Santiago Bernabéu Stadium, home to Real Madrid and the stage for historic nights and memorable victories. On the other side of the city, the Civitas Metropolitano Stadium hosts Atlético de Madrid, a club of unwavering passion whose fans turn every match into a thrilling experience. Just 50 kilometers away, Aranjuez enchants with its royal palace and gardens, which inspired the famous Concierto de Aranjuez. Further north, the monastery of El Escorial, a symbol of Philip II's power, impresses with its grandeur and royal pantheon. For nature lovers, the Sierra de Guadarrama is a paradise of mountains and forests, perfect for hiking and skiing. Madrid is not just a capital. It is the soul of Spain, a place where history breathes in every corner and culture pulses with intensity. Northern Spain is a mosaic of cultures and landscapes, where the emerald green of the fields merges with the deep blue of the Atlantic Ocean. It is a region of unparalleled beauty and rich history. Galicia, a land of legends and ancestral traditions, welcomes us with the majesty of Santiago de Compostela, a pilgrimage destination and architectural jewel whose historic center is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. La Coruña, a city open to the sea, captivates with the imposing Tower of Hercules, the oldest functioning Roman lighthouse in the world and a witness to countless battles. Pontevedra, elegant and stately, invites you to stroll through its stone streets and discover its rich historical heritage. Lugo, a 2,000-year-old city surrounded by an intact Roman wall, transports visitors to bygone eras. In the interior, the mountains of Lugo offer dreamlike landscapes, with the Minho River winding through valleys and forests. Castro Verde, a land of hill forts and legends, reveals a Celtic and Roman past. The Galician coastline amazes with the beauty of the beach of the cathedrals, a natural monument of arches and rocky columns sculpted by the sea. The sea's islands, a natural paradise with white sandy beaches and crystal-clear waters, invite you to disconnect. Pancha Island and its lighthouse are a magical place where time seems to stand still. Asturias, a land of mountains and sea, greets visitors with the majesty of the Picos de Europa, a national park of great beauty and home to the brown bear and chamois. Oviedo, its capital, charms with its historic center and welcoming atmosphere. Gijón, a dynamic coastal city, offers beautiful beaches and a lively vibe. Cudillero, a picturesque and colorful fishing village, wins hearts with its harbor and houses clinging to the hillsides. Cantabria, a land of contrasts, surprises with its green fields and pastures, its cliffs and golden sandy beaches. Cape Candelaria is a magical spot where the sea meets the mountains. The mountains of Rio Corvo are a paradise for trekking enthusiasts. San Vicente de la Barquera, a medieval town with an impressive historical heritage, and Santander, its capital, offer a modern and elegant city with a stunning bay. Northeastern Spain is a land of wonders and legends, where ancient mountains meet wild coasts and fertile valleys. The Basque Country, a land of ancestral traditions and untamed spirit, impresses with the power of its rugged coasts, where the Cantabrian Sea crashes furiously against the rocks of Zumaya, creating a breathtaking spectacle. The island of Gaztelugatz, crowned by its solitary hermitage, defies the ocean, connected to the mainland by a winding stone bridge that seems suspended between sky and sea. In the corners of San Juan, a charming fishing village, time appears to have stopped, with its colorful houses and maritime atmosphere. The beaches of Sopelana, washed by wild waves, are a paradise for sea lovers. San Sebastián, the pearl of the Cantabrian Sea, dazzles with its elegant beauty. Its La Concha Bay shines under the golden light, while its old town buzzes with the taste of pinxos and the echoes of festivities. In its mountain villages, modernity blends with tradition. Bilbao, a modern and cosmopolitan city, surprises with its avant-garde architecture, where the iconic Guggenheim Museum gleams like a contemporary jewel on the banks of the Nervion River. Further east, Navarre, a land of contrasts and breathtaking landscapes, invites exploration of its mountains, canyons, and valleys, paradise for adventure lovers. Artejona and Uju preserve their medieval essence, while the Bardenas Reals Natural Park, a desert landscape of stark and mysterious beauty, reveals a lunar wasteland sculpted by wind and time. Olite, with its fairy tale castle, seems taken from an enchanted story, and in Pamplona, its capital, the spirit of the San Fermin festival resonates with ancient force. In the region of La Rioja, the soul of wine flourishes among golden vineyards. The land merges with tradition, giving life to legendary wines that tell stories of sun, earth, and hardworking hands. In its cellars, time is bottled, preserving the secrets of generations. On the high northern plateaus of the Meseta, where the Douro River carves valleys between vast plains, Castile and Leon reveal a monumental legacy like no other. This region, cradle of the Castilian language and birthplace of ancient kingdoms, preserves the densest medieval heritage in Europe. Burgos captivates with its Gothic cathedral, whose intricate spires have reached for the Castilian sky since 1221. In Segovia, the two-tier Roman aqueduct carries visitors 2 millennia back in time, supporting the city on its 167 perfect arches. Avila displays its unmistakable walled silhouette, with 88 towers embracing a mystical city. Salamanca, with its centuries-old university, illuminates the night with its golden stones. On its plateresque facade, students once searched for the famous hidden frog while debating the discovery of America in the lands of Leon. Las Medulas appear as a Martian landscape of reddish clay, the legacy of the largest gold mine of the Roman Empire. Crossing the central system to the south, the horizons widen in the land of Don Quixote, where monumental cities punctuate vast stretches of vineyards and cereal fields. Toledo, perched on its rocky outcrop and bathed by the Tagus River, holds in its Gothic cathedral the very soul of Spain. Its narrow streets, synagogues, and mosques tell centuries of coexistence between 3 cultures. On the horizon of La Mancha, the windmills of Consuegra and Campo de Criptana draw the most recognizable silhouette of the Spanish landscape. White sentinels evoking the eternal struggle of the ingenious gentlemen as they watch over fields of saffron and grain. The enchanted city of Cuenca, with its limestone formations sculpted by erosion, seems to have sprung from a dream. Nearby, the monastery of Uccle reveals in its imposing walls the power of the military orders. In the west, where Spain faces Portugal, Extremadura displays a surprising monumental heritage framed by vast centuries-old dehesas. Cáceres preserves an intact medieval ensemble, where Renaissance palaces and defensive towers share cobbled streets that seem frozen in the 16th century. Mérida, with its theater, amphitheater, and temples, unveils the splendor of ancient Emerita Augusta, capital of Roman Lusitania. Badajoz displays its borderland heritage in the Plaza Alta and its Moorish Alcazaba. Trujillo, cradle of conquistadors, boasts Renaissance palaces around its arcaded square. Jerez de los Caballeros charms with its Baroque towers. Finally, Coria, a historical gem of Cáceres, captivates with its impressive Roman wall, majestic cathedral, and the allure of its medieval streets. Living in Spain means experiencing a unique harmony between tradition and modernity, in a land bathed in sunlight and embraced by mountains and seas. Daily life is a vibrant mosaic of culture, tradition, and joy. It stands out for its more relaxed pace and high quality of life, where time seems to pass more slowly, allowing each moment to be savored. The siesta, though less common in big cities, remains a symbol of this unhurried lifestyle. The cost of living varies by region. Madrid and Barcelona have a more cosmopolitan rhythm and higher prices, while in the south and rural areas life is simpler and more affordable. Spain's transportation network is modern and efficient. High-speed trains connect major cities quickly and comfortably, and highways weave the territory from north to south. The climate is a mosaic of contrasts. Mediterranean warmth caresses the eastern and southern coasts, while the Atlantic cools the green, mountainous north. In the center, summers are scorching and winters harsh. The Spanish lifestyle is deeply connected to nature. Spaniards love spending time outdoors, whether at the beach, in the mountains, or in the countryside. They highly value a balance between work and personal life, and enjoy their free time with family and friends. The ancient kingdom of Aragon, between the Pyrenean peaks and the arid steppes of Montegros, reveals a land full of contrasts, forged during the Reconquista. Zaragoza, crossed by the Ebro River, stands out with the Basilica del Pilar, a Baroque temple, and the Aljaferia, a Taifa palace turned Christian residence that still preserves Andalusian refinement. In the Pyrenees of Huesca, Ordesa and Monte Perdido National Park impresses with its dizzying waterfalls, limestone cliffs, and the presence of the chamois and the bearded vulture. Teruel, with its Mujar architecture, showcases a blend of Islamic and Christian styles, while the lovers of Teruel rest in their Gothic mausoleum. Heading toward the Mediterranean, Valencia merges tradition and avant-garde. The city of arts and sciences by Calatrava contrasts with La Lonja de la Seda, a testament to medieval commercial power. The Albufera, surrounded by endless rice fields, mirrors golden sunsets. Alicante, with its castle of Santa Barbara, overlooks the Mediterranean, while Peníscola, a Templar fortress, rises as a historic peninsula. In Valencia's interior, Morella, a walled town perched on an impregnable cliff, and the white villages of Marina Alta, amid terraced almond groves, offer breathtaking scenery. The Iberian southeast, with its mix of lush orchards and lunar landscapes, concludes this journey. Cartagena stands out for its prized natural harbor, where the Roman theater and Renaissance fortifications reveal centuries of naval history, from the Phoenicians to today's navy. Murcia, with its Baroque cathedral and fertile countryside, a legacy of Andalusian irrigation, supplies European markets, while Caravaca de la Cruz safeguards its sacred relic in ancient processions. Finally, the Mar Menor, a saltwater lagoon separated from the Mediterranean by the narrow strip of land known as La Manga, invites visitors to float in its therapeutic waters, closing the journey through this region. Andalusia is a true tapestry of history and beauty in southern Spain, a land where past and present intertwine in a dance of culture and passion. From the majestic Sierra Nevada mountains to the golden beaches of the Costa del Sol, this region offers an unforgettable experience for all the senses. In Granada, the Alhambra rises proudly, a dreamlike palace where fragrant gardens and whispering fountains guard the secrets of sultans and poets. The intricate details of its palaces and gardens transport visitors to a world of legends and enchantment. Córdoba, in turn, is home to the stunning Mosque Cathedral, a marvel that unites the grandeur of an Islamic mosque with the solemnity of a Christian cathedral. The Caminito del Rey challenges those with vertigo with its walkways suspended over breathtaking gorges, while the route of the white villages reveals Andalusia in two colors, the radiant white of Ronda or Vera, and the brick red and stone of Sentinel de las Bodegas contrast with the lush green of its mountains and valleys. In Ronda, its new bridge defies the abyss, uniting dreams and legends. Seville, the vibrant capital of Andalusia, is a modern city that still preserves all its historic charm along the banks of the Guadalquivir River. Seville Cathedral, with its impressive Giralda Tower, is a symbol of the city, while the Royal Alcazar, a palace worthy of fairy tales, is a labyrinth of dazzling courtyards and gardens. The Golden Tower watches over the river, while El Arenal and Santa Cruz whisper memories of bullfighters and poets. The Triana district, with its flamenco atmosphere and deep religious fervor, is the beating heart of Sevillian culture. Finally, Cádiz, the oldest city in the West, is a millennia-old city bathed by the Atlantic, where the sea breeze caresses walls that once witnessed the departure of conquerors and explorers. Land of legends and contrasts, it unveils its magic from the untamed shores of the Mediterranean to its sky-kissing mountains. In its corners, time seems to have stood still, guarding the secrets of ancient counts and troubadours. At the heart of the region, Girona rises as a bridge between past and present. Surrounding it, medieval villages like Besalú, with its Romanesque bridge over the Fluvia River, and Miravet, perched above the Ebro with its imposing Templar castle, evoke epic tales of knights and crusades. Solsona and Tordera keep alive the essence of ancient times, with their cobblestone streets and history-laden squares. The Costa Brava reveals itself as a spectacle of cliffs and hidden coves. In Cadaqués, the wind whispers Dali's verses as the sun sets over its whitewashed houses. Tossa de Mar, with its medieval walls touching the sea, and Lloret de Mar, where nightlife and golden beaches merge in an eternal dance, enchant all who visit. Beyond the coast, natural landscapes continue to fascinate. Cap de Creus emerges with its wild beauty, while the Medes Islands and the Montgrí Massif, crowned by its castle, stand as guardians of time. From above, the Serra de Collserola majestically overlooks the vibrant pulse of Barcelona. This city, the jewel of Catalonia, is a hymn to both modernity and tradition. From the futuristic 22 at District to historic Barceloneta, from Diagonal Avenue to the bustling seaside promenade, Barcelona breathes life. In Montjuic, with its 17th-century castle and gardens, panoramic views of the city and harbor unfold. The Gothic Quarter, with its narrow streets and historic buildings, is a journey into Barcelona's past. The Ribera district reflects the city's vitality. Las Ramblas, Barcelona's iconic boulevard, is the place to stroll, shop, and feel the city's vibrant soul. The Balearic Islands, located in the Mediterranean Sea off the eastern coast of the Iberian Peninsula, form an archipelago composed of Mallorca, Menorca, Ibiza, and Formentera, along with several small islets. With a total area of approximately 5,000 square kilometers, Mallorca is the largest and most populous, followed by Menorca, Ibiza, and Formentera. Over the centuries, they have been inhabited by Phoenicians, Romans, Muslims, and Christians, resulting in a very diverse cultural heritage. In 1235, the Crown of Aragon conquered Ibiza and Formentera, while Mallorca and Menorca were annexed in the 13th century, consolidating their influence in the region. Among its most emblematic sites, Mallorca hosts the majestic Palma Cathedral, Belver Castle, and the Tramuntana mountain range, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Its beaches also stand out, such as Es Trenc, along with the impressive geological formations of the Drach Caves. Menorca is famous for its nearly untouched beaches like Macarella and Turqueta, as well as megalithic monuments such as the Navida des Tudons. Ibiza, world-renowned for its nightlife, also preserves a historic center, Dalt Vila, protected by UNESCO, in addition to spectacular sunsets in Baneras and beaches like Cala Canta. Formentera, with its crystal-clear waters and beaches such as SES Elites, along with ideal cycling routes, is a true natural paradise, perfect for rest and disconnection. The Balearic Islands are not only a top tourist destination but also a territory with its own cultural and natural identity, where history and modernity coexist in harmony with the spectacular Mediterranean scenery. The Canary Islands, a destination of magic and adventure, emerge as a volcanic paradise in the Atlantic, an Eden of wild beauty and ancient legends. This Spanish archipelago, known as the Fortunate Islands, captivates with its landscape contrasts and its history marked by Guanche myths. In Tenerife, the imposing tide, Spain's highest peak, rises majestically, surrounded by a volcanic landscape that seems from another planet. The vibrant Playa de las Americas offers sun and lively nightlife, while La Laguna, a World Heritage Site, shines with its colonial architecture. In Santa Cruz de Tenerife, the capital pulses with culture through its colorful carnivals and bustling shopping streets. In Lanzarote, the surreal Timanfaya National Park displays a landscape of red and black earth, as if fire and lava had created their own universe. Fuerteventura enchants with the golden dunes of Corralejo, a seaside desert perfect for windsurfing. In Cofete, the wild ocean and vast beach create a mystical and remote atmosphere. Gran Canaria blends modernity and tradition in Las Palmas, with its historic Vegeta neighborhood and the famous Las Canteras beach. The Maspalomas Dunes, a vast sea of golden sand, provide unforgettable sunsets. La Gomera guards secrets in the ancient Garagine forest, a laurel forest shrouded in mysterious mists. In La Palma, the city of Santa Cruz de la Palma charms with its cobblestone streets and colonial balconies. The Spanish enclaves on the Mediterranean and Atlantic coasts are bastions of history and beauty. Ceuta and Melilla, guardians of Africa, blend cultures and offer views of the infinite sea. Each enclave is a bridge between continents, where time dances with the wind and ocean waves. In the 15th century, Ceuta was the target of disputes between the Christian kingdoms of the Iberian Peninsula and the Ottoman Empire. In 1415, King John I of Portugal conquered Ceuta, establishing Portuguese rule over the city. However, in 1580, Ceuta was taken by Philip II of Spain during the temporary union of Portugal and Spain under the Habsburg dynasty. Despite Portugal's later independence, Ceuta remained under Spanish control and continues to be a Spanish enclave in Africa to this day. In the same region, Melilla also stands out, an autonomous Spanish city with a unique location on the northern coast of Africa, conquered in 1497 by the Catholic monarchs, Ferdinand II of Aragon and Isabella I of Castile. Today, the city attracts visitors with its beaches, Mediterranean climate, and rich culture. The historic center, known as the Old Town, houses numerous historical buildings and monuments, including walls, fortresses, and mosques. Spain shines on the world stage thanks to a unique blend of traditions, talents, and cultural treasures that have made it a must-visit destination for millions of travelers. And if we ask ourselves what makes Spain such a singular country, we could find 1,001 reasons. Spanish cuisine is a true feast for the senses, from Valencian paella and Iberian ham to tapas that have won over palates around the globe. Spain's postcard-worthy cities dazzle on the international stage. Barcelona with Gaudí's modernist magic. Madrid with its golden mile of art. Granada, guardian of the Alhambra. Seville with its Gothic cathedral. Medieval Toledo and elegant San Sebastián form a unique urban mosaic where every corner tells centuries of history. Spanish football, with legendary clubs like Real Madrid and FC Barcelona, has also earned global recognition. The national team, world champions in 2010, cemented this prestige, creating a school of football with its own unmistakable style. Bullfighting, controversial yet deeply rooted, and flamenco, declared intangible cultural heritage of humanity, embody Spanish passion in its purest form. Painters like Velázquez, Goya, Picasso, Dalí, and Miró revolutionized world art from Spain. In literature, Cervantes created the modern novel with Don Quixote, while García Lorca, Machado, and Unamuno explored the Spanish soul with sublime prose and poetry. Finally, Spain's national flag, with its horizontal red, yellow, and red stripes, symbolizes the historic union of the kingdoms of Castile and Aragon. The central coat of arms represents the different historical regions, crowned by the monarchy and flanked by the Pillars of Hercules with the inscription Plus Ultra, a reminder of the seafaring spirit that has always been part of Spain's history. Spain is a country that captivates all who visit, with its rich and diverse culture, deep-rooted traditions, welcoming people, and passion for life. Here, the Spanish language flows like poetry, with its musicality and expressive richness, giving life to immortal works like Cervantes' Don Quixote. The festive spirit is an essential part of the country, with grand celebrations such as Bunal's La Tomatina, where people throw tomatoes at each other, and Valencia's Phallus, where giant cardboard figures are burned in a burst of fire and color. Traditional dances like flamenco, sardana, and jota are artistic expressions that reflect Spain's cultural diversity and soul. Religiosity is also deeply embedded in Spanish culture, with traditions like the Camino de Santiago, a centuries-old pilgrimage route that attracts thousands of people each year. Churches and cathedrals, with their majestic architecture and sacred art, stand as witnesses to the history and faith of the Spanish people. Likewise, art and architecture are two fundamental pillars of Spanish culture. The Prado Museum in Madrid, with its collection of masterpieces, is a world reference in art. The Guggenheim Museum in Bilbao, with its avant-garde architecture and collection of contemporary art, is a symbol of the country's modernity. Architecture here is poetry carved in stone, with iconic works in Barcelona such as Gaudí's Sagrada Família and Parc Güell, where imagination knows no bounds. Spanish gastronomy is internationally renowned for its richness, variety, and the quality of its ingredients. The Mediterranean diet, declared an intangible cultural heritage of humanity, finds in Spain one of its greatest exponents. Spanish cuisine is vast and diverse, so here we will mention only a few of its most emblematic dishes. Among them stands out the Valencian paella, traditionally prepared with rice, rabbit, chicken, and vegetables. The Spanish tortilla, also known as the potato omelet, is another fundamental pillar of the national cuisine, found in almost every household. Jamón ibérico de bellota represents the excellence of Spanish charcuterie, often accompanied by Andalusian gazpacho, a cold soup perfect for summer. Tapas, such as patatas bravas, Russian salad, and croquettes, are an essential part of the gastronomic culture. Fish and seafood hold a prominent place, with dishes like Galician-style octopus, hake and green sauce, and piu shrimp, a southern Spanish delicacy. In the country's interior, Madrid-style stews and Asturian fabadas stand out as traditional and hearty dishes. Among desserts, crema catalana shines, similar to French crème brûlée but with its own character, along with churros with chocolate, enjoyed both for breakfast and as an afternoon snack. Torrijas, typical of Holy Week, complete this journey through Spanish gastronomy. And so we come to the end of this fascinating journey through every corner of Spain, a country where history, nature, art, celebrations, and flavors blend to create a unique and passionate identity. From the ancient peoples who shaped its cities to the traditions that still live on in its squares and streets, Spain remains a destination that inspires, surprises, and warmly welcomes all who visit. I hope you enjoyed learning a bit more about this land so rich in culture and diversity. If you'd like to keep traveling the world with me, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. See you at the next destination. Until then, hasta luego.